Hey, what is going on everybody? It is Nolan, or the Optimistic Gamer here, and welcome back to the Optimistic Survival series. Today probably needs no introduction, the sign is doing that job for us, but we are building our power plant once and for all. This is going to generate lava that we will then feed into our smeltery, I guess, if that's what we want to call it, right over here. And it will keep all of these furnaces full, because let's be honest, we have not really stayed on top of it. And once these buckets here are finished, we are going to, at least the plan is to have a sorting mechanism that will then return the buckets, the empty buckets, back into our power plant. I've already worked on this a little bit in creative, and we are using a few blocks that are sort of out of the ordinary. You wouldn't necessarily expect to use them in a common building like this. We've talked about that on the live stream a little bit if you have watched those. We are building with raw iron blocks today, we are using blocks of coal, and then we are using some endstone bricks. We haven't used endstone bricks in the series yet, so that is what we are working with as well. We are going to fill in this hole right here, get that pig out of there, and get to work on the floor of our power plant. Now, this building is going to be larger than that plot of wool that we had at the start. In fact, it is actually going to be about twice as large. I realized as I was planning it out that that small footprint just wouldn't give us enough space to have a nice spread out factory. It was going to feel really crammed, sort of like our old smelting facility up on the hill. I am out of dirt, but that's not a problem. We are about to clear away all of this grass here to make room for the floor. Now, the floor is going to be made from coal blocks. I mined up all of our coal ore using our fortune pickaxe, and we had about 6 or 7 stacks of coal ore. Now, I'm not sure though if that's still going to be enough for what we need. This is a pretty large plot. You can see the corners that I have marked out here with our raw iron blocks. So this is going to be a very large floor. I think we may have to go get a little bit more coal here, but we will see how we do. So we have about 2 3/4 of a stack of coal blocks. We are going to start by outlining this, and then we will work from the middle. Now, compared to raw iron blocks, coal blocks actually have quite a few uses, simply because the black matches a lot of different color palettes, and it has a pretty soft, muted texture. It looks really, really nice in my opinion, and I'm thinking we are definitely going to need at least 2 more stacks than what we have. We are down to our last half stack here, and it looks like we are going to get this row finished, and we are going to get part way through that row. So that was what 2 and closer to 2.5 stacks got us, so I think 2 more stacks should do. In fact, we could even count this out so that we don't fall short. So we need 118 more blocks of coal. We are going to go then for 2 stacks of coal blocks. This is why we really need to get our wither skeleton farm finished. So we will take our beacon with us, and we will venture out to the quarry that we started in a live stream not all that long ago. So right up here, we will get our beacon put down on the base. We have some goats in there, and we will power this up with haste 2. We really didn't need to bring the beacon with haste 2, but it will help things go a lot faster. You can see we already have quite a bit of coal in there. So we are going to need 18 stacks in order to get 2 stacks of coal blocks. And I will meet all of you back at the valley once we have 2 stacks of coal blocks. And we're back. We have a little over 2 stacks of coal blocks. That will be enough to get us finished, and it will give us a few extra in case we need them in the future for anything else. So we will get the rest of the floor put in, and then we will go ahead and outline this. For the base of the walls, we are actually using the raw iron. That's where that is coming in. And then for the rest of the walls, we are going to be using endstone. Again, something that we haven't really used at all in this series. So that will leave us with 18 coal blocks left, and we may need more raw iron blocks, but if we do, that's not a problem. We got plenty of iron from the quarry as we were getting our coal blocks. And these will just go all the way around the building. We are just a few short. Again, though, we got plenty of iron ore, so we will just get this place down and mine it up to get that raw iron. Alright, 22 more blocks. This is going to be close. We may need just a few more here, but maybe not. And we are 2 blocks short. That's not a huge deal, though. Actually, for the door, we are going to have a gap here in the middle anyway, so we can go ahead and remove those and finish that off. Oops, finish that off right there. Now, of course, we do have some gaps here along the backside. If we want to get a few more iron blocks to place in there, we can certainly do that, or we could bring the ground up and do that instead. I think we will not take the easy way out. We will go get some more iron, but we will do that a little bit later. So now it is time to move on to the walls. Again, we are using those end stone bricks. In the corners, we are actually going to use some end stone brick walls. We are going to make 15 of those for now. Actually, we'll make 16. We are going to need some more later on, but that will be enough to get us started. So in the corners, these will be 4 blocks tall, just like that, and then we will fill in with our end stone bricks, and we will carve out some windows as we do this. So here in the front, we are going to have a 3x3 window on each side of the door. That will look like this. I think we are going to go with black glass panes for the windows, but I have not fully decided on what we will use. But that will be our front windows. They will look like that. And then we will have, I suppose if we want to, we could have one more window above the front of the doors. And I think we will do that. And then we will do a couple of upside down end stone brick stairs above those doors. Just like that. We are going to go with copper doors, but we will do that towards the end. Right now we are just focused on the walls. So we will have this line of end stone bricks going all the way across the top, and it will turn and go across the back and then connect back up to the front. Just like that. Now we have a pretty good spot for outlining our windows. So we are going to have some 2-block wide windows right here, and then a 2-block wide gap right there, and then a couple more windows. Something like this. Actually, right here, we are going to do another set of end stone brick walls. Those will go up in the middle, and then a couple more 2-block wide windows here in the back. I will explain that here in just a minute. So let's do the same thing on this side for the windows. And I'm thinking we may need to run to the end and get a few more end stone bricks for the second floor of this, which will be here in the backside. That is why we are leaving those gaps. And here in the back of the build, I think we will just do 4 2-block wide windows, just like that, nice and symmetrical. And there we go. We now have our first floor windows all carved out. We will go back and add some smooth sandstone sprinkled into these walls just to vary the texture a little bit and make it look a little bit more worn. It is a pretty heavy-duty factory after all. With that out of the way, I think it is time to start outlining the roof. That is what these cut copper slabs are for. We are going for the weathered cut copper slabs, and we will be waxing those to hold them into their stage. So we will need some wax, and some of these were waxed when I crafted them. So those ones we will have to take the wax off, allow them to weather a little bit, and then wax them once they are finished. Luckily, we have plenty of honeycomb for the job. So for the roof outline, we are going to have a triangle roof as per usual with most of our builds around here. And it will be on the front where it will go up and meet at a point in the middle. And this is where we have to be careful of these waxed slabs. We will restore those as much as possible and then wax them again once they are to the proper stage. So it's going to take a little bit of time. In fact, I probably shouldn't have done that yet. We are going to wax all of these, or take the wax off of a lot of these, and then put the wax back on, because I forgot we cannot mix, even if it is the same oxidization, we cannot mix slabs on the same block if some of them are waxed and some of them are not. But this should allow us now to place some of these slabs along here. And is this a full block? So that's a slab, so if we go out, that will be a slab, and then we will be able to put a different slab. I guess that doesn't really matter because that will go up too. And then we can take our weathered cut copper slabs and place these here, and again wax them as we go, although same issue as before, we are going to have to wax these ahead of time. There we go. So now we can place the rest of these in, and again they will go up to the middle, perfect amount. And I don't believe any of these are waxed. They are not. We just need to take the wax off of these 128 slabs, and then we will be good to go. Alright, all the wax has been removed from those copper slabs so we can finish up the roof, and I just fell off. We're going to use our scaffolding. That's a little bit easier than using firework rockets every time we want to get up there. So these slabs here on the side will just go all the way along the side of the building, including in front of where we will have those end stone brick walls. And then here in the back, one more time, we will have that triangle that will turn and go up, and it will meet at a point in the middle. And we will just repeat that one more time on this side. And there we go, so we now have our roof outline into place. But as I said, we are going to have a second floor here on the back. So the way that will look is this whole part of the wall is just going to extend up a little bit more, including with this wall here in the corner. So we will have a couple more 2-block wide windows up here, and then again our walls will continue from floor to ceiling, just like this, and then it will go all the way around on this side as well, and we will have the triangle from the roof sort of acting as a unique design feature here in the back. We are not going to have any windows on that side, but it will look something like that, and then we will have another roof on top of it that will go this way, so the triangle will be on this side, so we will have sort of these intersecting triangles, that kind of look. We are out of end stone, so we are going to head to the end and get a little bit more of that. It shouldn't take us all that long. We probably only need 2 more stacks. And we are back once again with more than enough end stone bricks than what we are going to need. So we will turn all of those into the bricks. I guess we will just do all of them. I don't plan on building with raw end stone. And then we will need a handful of walls for the corners and those walls here on the side. We will get those filled in. There we go, and we will finish outlining the roof, or the second floor of the building, and then get the roof put onto this part. So we will just start with the top outline and then get started on the roof. So again, it is going to look very similar to the first floor roof, but instead of the triangle being on this side, it is going to be here on the shorter side. And I think we are going to need just a few more copper slabs to be able to finish this, but that won't be an issue for us. But you get the idea of how that looks. So the way this will work is we will have these slabs, spruce slabs for the roof on this. Actually, I take that back, more copper slabs. In fact, I forgot we switched. I originally built with spruce and then realized that's probably not a good idea in a building that houses lava. So I switched that to copper slabs of a different oxidization level. So we are going to need a lot more copper than what we have here. Let's go see what we have over in the storage facility. Alright, well, I think we are pretty set as far as copper ingots go. So we will get to work filling in these slabs. The roof initially might look a little bit off, but with time and oxidization, of course, it will eventually look how it is supposed to look. I don't want to take the time and spread all of these copper slabs out though. We are just going to let them age naturally, and eventually we will have the look that we are going for, which is the... Are these weathered? Whatever level these are, that is the perimeter, and then the level before this is the main part of the roof. And I spy a raid captain right down in our lumber yard. So we need to go make a few more slabs, but generally speaking, that is how that will look. Again, over here on this side, we are going to have the same 2-block wide, 3-block tall windows. So we will fill in between all of those walls. And then right here on the front, we are going to fill these gaps in with completely solid with our end stone bricks. And we did not have a roof there, but again, from this side, we should have a really good look of how that is coming together. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up all of the walls, get the roof put on. We are going to fill in with black stained panes, and then it is time to start working on the inside. I will see all of you once the building is finished. Alright, the building is pretty much finished. All of the roof is put on and all of the windows are filled in. There are just a couple more detailing items we are going to do real quick before working on the lava mechanism. The first is a large chimney here in the middle of these two sections. Of course, that would make sense given the fact that we are working with lava in a very, very large quantity. We are going to have smoke billowing out of this building. So this is going to be made in this sort of circular fashion. It's a little difficult to tell exactly what it is right now, but the way this is going to work is we are going to have a gradient from stone bricks to tuff to deep slate bricks and then to polished blackstone bricks, almost as if the top of the chimney was sort of covered in ash and soot. So we are going to start with these stone bricks at the base as if that is what the original color of it was. And those will go into the copper roof right here and look like it is a part of the building. Above that, it will then transition into our tuff bricks, and it's not going to be a perfect transition. We are going to sort of sprinkle in some of these stone bricks. They will go a little bit higher than the tuff, and some of the tuff will go into where the stone bricks are. So it will look sort of like this, and we will have a couple layers of the tuff bricks as well. So we get something that is starting to look like this. Maybe we will sprinkle in a couple more stone bricks, maybe one right there or something like that, and then replace this with some tuff. Our next layer up is going to be our deep slate bricks, again slowly getting to that darker color in the gradient here. So we will continue with a few more tuff bricks going around the perimeter like that, and then really focus heavily on the deep slate bricks. And for our top layer, we will start to sprinkle in a few of those blackstone bricks before transitioning heavily into blackstone with a few deep slate, and finally finishing it off with blackstone going all the way around the top. Just like that. So when we fly down from that, we should see that very nice gradient right there. I think that tuff brick was supposed to be a deep slate brick. That looks a little bit out of place, and that is a little bit better. Maybe we will do a tuff brick right there. I kind of like that. So that looks pretty good. We are going to fill that up with hay bales and put a lot of campfires in there. We are going to have a lot of smoke pouring out of that, but that will come in just a little bit. The other little tiny piece of detailing I want to do is have some copper trapdoors underneath all of our windows, just like this. We will let these oxidize to the same level as our surrounding our border on the roof, and then we will wax these and lock them into that stage. We will put some Actually, we are going to leave the ones on the second floor alone. Those will not have any trapdoors, but everything on the first floor will have trapdoors below the windows. And now with all of those trapdoors finished, the building from the outside is pretty much done. Again, it is going to be a while before we can actually see this building in all of its glory, mostly because that roof does not really match with the rest of it at the moment, but it will eventually. So now with all of that finished, we can begin work on the inside, and we do also have a couple doors that we will place down. Again, those will go to that greenish stage right before the maximum oxidization. So we have plenty of space in here for lots of cauldrons, lots of dripstone, and lots of lava. So we are going to go grab a handful of all of those things right now. So we have almost 100 cauldrons that we are going to place down, and we are going to begin back here near the second floor. I think that makes sense to have quick access to our lava, again similar to our old smelting factory. And we are going to maximize space with this without making it too claustrophobic, so we are going to leave a couple blocks from the walls on each side. That way we can still see from the floor up to the ceiling, and we will fill in with our cauldrons in between. We are going to do rows of 2, just like that, and then have a 1 block gap and do a couple more rows. Is that going to work for us? This ceiling here is tall enough. I think that is going to work. And the whole idea behind this is to be able to reach every single cauldron and stand right up next to it. And I don't know that we are going to use all of these cauldrons. I think we will go for 4 of these sections, and then that will probably be way more than enough. So that right here is 72 cauldrons. I don't think we will use those last 26. And we can now start on the dripping mechanism. So we need a non-burnable block to put above those. We have plenty of stone, so we will go with some stone bricks. And we are going to do a pretty fun pattern with this. We are also going to use those chiseled stone bricks above each of the cauldrons, and I guess it will sort of look like an outline for our dripstone. So when we go to place that down, again 1 block above the cauldrons, just like that, and have that going all the way across. When we go to place our dripstone underneath that, I guess sometimes the dripstone doesn't perfectly line up, but when it does, it looks pretty neat. Of course, we are going to need a lot more dripstone for this as well, and I'm realizing we have a gap there. I think we will cover that, maybe replace that with endstone. We'll do that in a little bit. But we are going to need some more dripstone for this. So once we get all of the chiseled stone bricks into place, we will go down to our dripstone cave and mine up a few more. And there we go. Now, of course, by themselves, I think they will start filling up these cauldrons with water, but we are going to change that here pretty quickly. Also, on the way over to the dripstone cave, we have all of our, or most of our, torch flower and pitcher plants ready to be harvested. We planted, okay, we are good. We planted all of these in the live stream yesterday, and they are just about ready to harvest. Again, I'm not sure if the water will actually work on those or not, but we will find out. So right down here, we have plenty of dripstone. We will mine all of this and take it back to our new power plant. Alright, we have all the dripstone. Let's hit this button and see what happens. Hey, look at that. It did work. That is pretty convenient. And all of our dripstone is now into place. We need to work on the housing for the lava. Now, just so it's not super claustrophobic down these rows, I think we will do slabs in between each of our chiseled stone bricks. So let's make a handful of slabs here and fill in those gaps. Now, of course, if we go to click the lava on them, I think the lava will go onto this slab instead of above it, so we do want to be careful with that. But we are also not going to have lava source blocks on top of those slabs anyway, so I don't think it is going to be a problem. And we technically don't need to fill in along these edges. In fact, I think what we will do for the outside of that are some more copper trapdoors. So let's see if we have enough here. I think this will be enough for us. And these are going to be placed on the outside. So let's put down some stone bricks for some temporary blocks. And now we can place in all of our copper trapdoors. We'll just do this going all the way around. We will flip those up just like that. And this is going to be a pretty cool design because it will allow us to see the lava, but of course it will not actually fall down and burn us. And we are gonna have way more than enough of these trapdoors. That is great. There we go. Let's remove our temporary blocks. And I suppose if we wanted, we could continue that pattern going down one more and have something that looks like this. Let's just see how that looks. Maybe. I'll have to think about that. We are out of copper anyway, so I think we will just go with these two sides for now, since that is what we see, and a few more right here. I do kind of like how it covers up those slabs right there, those gaps, and with the pattern of the chiseled stone bricks, it actually kind of outlines the square there in the middle. I think that's pretty cool, so I think we will stick with that. Now, our final step in all of this is to place lava on all of these chiseled stone bricks. So altogether, we are going to need 72 buckets of lava. Also, I found 11 more copper trapdoors in our inventory, so that is going to get us pretty close. We just need 5 more, and I also found a few more copper ingots in one of our shulker boxes, so we might actually have... Oh, you know what? We are going to be just short by 3 trapdoors. That's okay, we will worry about those another time. So we will start over here at our current smelting facility. We can pick up all of the lava, or not current smelting facility, our old smelting facility. We will pick up all of that lava, and we will also get the lava from up above. We can go ahead and remove the dripstone as well. There's not really any sense in having that here anymore. Same with the cauldrons. And let's just use those cauldrons to pillar up to the lava since I don't have any other blocks. And we will get a few more buckets from up here. I just want to make sure we don't throw any into the lava. So we will start over here at the far corner and just start filling in with lava. Let's move all of these buckets into our hot bar. Now we have a blazing hot bar. And we will start to fill in all of this lava quickly before it reaches us, and then we can step back. And now that first row will have some lava going into it. We will do the same thing once again on the second row. I'm wondering if it might be easier to have some blocks on top of where we have our slabs. So we will have a row of blocks right here, and then another row right there, and one more row right there. Once we are finished, we can go ahead and remove these corner blocks. That way we get the solid lava pattern going all the way across, but it is going to make it a little easier and a lot safer to get the rest of this lava put into place. There we go, so that is one section done. And pretty soon we are going to start filling up these cauldrons with lava, and then we can just use that and carry that over into the next set. So we'll get 5 more buckets put down right there, and we will grab the rest of what we can from up here, and then I think we will source the rest of this from the nether, just so we can get our lava spout finished. And we do have our first cauldron of lava already filled, and our second one right there. So already this farm, I guess, is working great for us. Alright, we are back with a little bit more from the nether. This should be enough to get us at least close to being finished. I think we are still going to be a few buckets short, but at this point we should have enough lava being generated from our farm that we can just source the rest of it that way. And we are down to our final row now. Let's get that trapdoor shut. Of course, it's not actually going to flow away if we left that open, but we were going to close it anyway. And that will also help to light up the main part of the factory over here. So again, we already have a few more cauldrons filling up with lava, and then we need 9 more buckets for this row, and then 6 more for the 6 stone bricks that we have here on the sides. As we can see, we have the lava right here, we can easily see that, but above the slabs we have the stone bricks still, and again, I want to replace that with some of our lava, just so we have that going all the way through. While we wait on the rest of that though, let's start on the tunnel that will bridge our smelting facility to the power plant. So this is our current minecart chest where the lava gets delivered into all of these systems. In fact, I guess we could just grab lava from out of these, and we can use that to fill up the rest of our power plant. And the last one right here. There we go. So those are all filled in now. We can close up that trapdoor, and the lava drip mechanism is fully complete. So we are going to reroute this minecart just a little bit. It is going to go underground, and it is going to come down at an angle right here in the corner. That way it can get underneath our pressure plates that we have over by the door without causing any interference. So right here we have some of that redstone wiring. We are going to have these tracks turn right here. They will continue down in this direction. We will have one more right there, and then it will turn and go a couple blocks in this direction. And we are going to leave some space so that we don't interfere with the redstone right here and our powered rails, which will be along there. So these will continue down here, they will turn like that, and then they will turn one more time and continue on in this direction all the way until we get to our power plant. Now we are going to leave the rails underground, and I'm thinking maybe right here. It's definitely a guessing game. There's some coal ore, or coal blocks, so when we dig right up here, we are inside. Let's see exactly where we are. That's actually a pretty good spot. I want it a little more, maybe right here, but that is pretty good. So the way this will work is we are just going to have a chest right here that will have hoppers underneath it, and that will load the minecart. So the minecart itself will never come above ground on this side. Of course, it will continue up and going around on the inside of our smelting facility, but on this side it will just stop right here and fill up with lava buckets right there. So we will continue our powered rails in this direction, then we will have a normal rail and another powered rail. This powered rail will be activated once the hopper is empty, but I think for now we will worry about that whole mechanism a little bit later. For now we are just going to get this powered, we are going to get these rails powered, and now with all of those powered up as they should be, this whole system should be up and running. We still need to place down our chest. We will use barrels since we have those, and these will be placed on top of the rail right there. One more on top of that. Our barrel will go on top of that hopper. Again, we will load our lava buckets into that. We haven't done the return mechanism yet. We still need to work on that. I might just do that between now and next episode and showcase it once it is finished. I'm not exactly sure how that will look for us, but we can place down that minecart. It should run back and forth now. Let's go fill up some buckets with lava and see how this farm works. So we will scoop up what we have. We will get those added into our barrel right here. And if we step over here, that minecart should be going back and forth. We can see that, well, eventually they will all be filled up with lava. Of course, it is going to prioritize these hoppers over here first. In fact, we don't have any lava in there right now. I'm surprised we still don't, actually. And we don't have any in that one. It makes me wonder if this system is actually running the way it's supposed to. We don't have any lava buckets in the furnace, or in the minecart. They must not be loading into the chest. All of the hoppers are still full. and I'm thinking maybe we can't load the minecart chest. I will have to play around with it, but you get the idea of how this all works. But that is where we are going to end it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on daily content as soon as I publish it. Check the description for some more important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!